Operation Cupid, Japanese, turn 2, production. This is Panzer George. So for our production this turn, we have 41 IPCs. So with the 41 IPCs, we're going to buy 1 factory, 1 transport, 6 infantry, and we're also investing 4 in tech. So we have 1 large combat, which is Yunnan, which I've already got set up on the battle board. And I'm going to do my other combat moves. So Anhui, we're moving into Quichao. We're sending in 6 infantry and 2 artillery, which should do the job. Also from Chahar, we're sending in 1 infantry for Hopei, 1 infantry for Sunyan, and just debating on this artillery. Yeah, we're going to send in the artillery into Quichao. We're going to leave these guys outside of Kiangsu. This mech, we're just going to send that into Yunnan as well. Just give me a second here. Okay, so for the combat, we're sending in units from Hunan. We're sending in units from Guangxi. All the fighters and tacticals in Guangxi are all going to be coming from here, with the exception of this 1 fighter, which has a special mission. And all the tacticals and fighters coming from the carriers are also going into Yunnan. So with the fighters and tactical from here and the carrier aircraft, they all have 2 left, with the exception of 1 tactical, 1 fighter, which were in Guangxi. And these 2 bombers here are going to be sitting out the combat. They have another mission, a special mission to take. Okay, so that's it. And we're also going to be moving through this square now because we're not at war with the UK. I'm just going to move these just so I don't forget. So we're just going to give a friendly wave to this destroyer as we move into Samara, off the coast of Samara, with this submarine. And this one here will be moving into Java, this submarine here. So we have 2 friendly Japanese submarines just off the coast there, just keeping an eye on things, and we're sure the British aren't concerned about that. So now we're going to do our combat. So what we have here is we have a bunch of Chinese forces with cavalry support and 1 brave French, free French soldier. So that's a total of 11. And coming in is almost the entire Japanese Air Force. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 dive bombers, and 2, 4, 6, 8 fighters. We have 2 infantry supported with artillery, and we have 4 non-supported. So I'm going to try and do this so we can minimize the glare of this combat. So hopefully you can see that. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is for the 7. So we've got 6 red die, so I'm going to roll the first 6, and I need to get 11 hits. So the first 6, and we have a total of 4 hits so far. So I'm just going to mark that on a red die over here with China. So we have 1 additional dive bomber, which I'm going to roll for. That's an additional hit, so that's a total of 5. And now we're going to roll for our 8. For our 8 fighters. So we have a total of, all I've got is 6 blue. I'm going to have to buy some more, but it's a nice problem to have. First, so only 2 hits with that one, so now we've got a total of 7 hits. 7 hits so far. So I have 2 more dice because I only had 6 here. 2 more dice. So that's another hit. So that's a total of 8 hits so far. So now we've done the fighters and the tacticals. Now I'm going to roll for the 4, which is 2 infantry and 2 artillery. So that's 2 more hits. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So I just need 1 more hit. So now it's up to my unsupported infantry, which is 3 infantry and a mech, and I need to get 1 hit, and I do not. So there's one Chinese remaining, or actually I'm going to say I think the French are the rear guard, so there's 1 French unit remaining. So now they get their chance to fire back. So there's 10, 11 total, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I'm going to roll that in small batches. First batch is 1 hit so far. 1 hit so far on the Japanese. I've got 4 more left. 7. And you can see here that's 2 more, so a total of 3 hits on the Japanese. So I'm going to take those off. So I'm going to take off the 3 Japanese infantry unsupported, and I'm going to take off all the Chinese. So we have 1 brave Free French remaining. I'm going to just send my dive bombers in. I think we're going to get 1 hit. So we do get at least 1 hit. So the brave Frenchman dies. He does get to fire back, and he was overwhelmed by the odds, so he is dead. So that concludes the battle for Yunnan. So I have to say that was successful for the French, or sorry, for the Japanese. So now we're going to do, let me give me a minute, I got to place these units back. So I got 5 survivors from the battle. In Yunnan. And now we're going to do the battle. So Hope is just a walk-in, as well as Suyan is just a walk-in. So that's Hope, Suyan, and Yunnan. So now we're going to do the combat. So we've got 3 artillery and 4 infantry attacking the 1 Chinese. So I'm going to roll this. Just going to take off put the Japanese Air Force back. So we've got 2 artillery, 2 infantry, 3 artillery, and 3 infantry should make a total of 6. And we've got 3 unsupported, should make 9. So I'm just going to roll all those. I need 1 hit. And I get 1 hit, and the Chinese infantry fires back, and they miss. Okay, so that concludes the combat. So now we'll do our non-combat moves. So non-combat moves, we are going to move these bombers back to Japan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these bombers are going to move back to Japan. This fighter here in Guangxi is going to move to Manchuria. 1, 2, 3. And these units from Jahol will move into Manchuria. We're just wondering about the intentions of the Russians, so we want to keep them honest and have a little force there to welcome them if they want to come for a tour. We are going to move the carrier, transport, and destroyer from Taiwan. We're going to have a friendly wave by in Guam. We're moving that carrier to Palau with a destroyer and a transport. And then we're going to move these transports in C Zone 36. We're going to be moving those up to off Okinawa. So those two transports are off Okinawa. We're going to have a destroyer alongside. And then these three transports in the Sea of Japan are going to move down, and they're going to pick up all these units here, plus the unit in Okinawa. So they're going to move down 1, 2, 3 into Sea Zone 36, and they're going to be dropping off a tank in Guangxi, a tank, an artillery, and 4 infantry into Guangxi. The Jiangxi, I have an infantry. They're just going to stay there. Okay, and the carrier. So 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to move a carrier down to off Malaya and be with that nice little friendly British destroyer. So we're going to have a carrier. We're going to have a battleship. We're going to have 2 battleships. We're going to have a cruiser. And this other cruiser is going to go past the Philippines and join off Palau. And we're going to have a carrier and a destroyer in Hainan. Okay, so now we're going to land our planes. So all our planes are in this nice little can here, just so I can keep track of everything. So we're going to land back on the carrier here and off Hainan. We're going to land the carrier off Malaya. So they all had 2 movement to make it back. So to make it here would be 1, 2. And same thing here, 1, 2. So they land there on those carriers. Also, Guangxi. So we have Guangxi. I'm going to put in my dot. So basically, everything is going to be in Guangxi. I'm going to indicate it by this marker here. And all these units up here are going to be in that can, are going to be down here. And I think I've moved everything. Just doing a double check. Okay, so then I'm going to put in my reinforcements. So I've got a transport. It's going to go in the Sea of Japan. I've got a factory. It's going to go in Jiangsu. I've got 6 infantry, which are going to go in Japan. So disposition of forces. And just give me a second here. going to put the destroyer as well in the off Malaya. And I'm just going to leave a carrier here. So I don't see any submarines anywhere, so I think I should be fine there. So let's do disposition of forces. So off Malaya, I've got a carrier, 2 battleships, a cruiser, and a destroyer. On the carrier, I've got a tactical and a fighter. Off Sumatra, I've got 1 submarine. Off Java, I've got 1 submarine. Palau, I've got a cruiser, destroyer, a transport, and an aircraft carrier with a tactical and a fighter. Caroline Islands, 2 infantry and an anti-air. Off Sea Zone 36, I've got a carrier, a fighter, a tactical, and 3 transports. In Kwang Sea, I've got 2 infantry. Another Kiang Sea is 2 infantry. Kwang Sea, I've got a tank, artillery, and 4 infantry. In Yunnan, I've got 2 artillery, a mech, and 2 infantry. In Qing Chao, I've got 6 infantry and 3 artillery. In Hopei, I've got 1 infantry. Suyan, I've got 1 infantry. Along in Kwang Sea, and this as indicated by this marker, I have, let me just count it out here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tactical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fighters. 5 tactical and 6 fighters. And I'll just put them up there in Mongolia just for flying over Mongolia in a friendly sort of way. Or I should say I'm flying over the Gobi Desert. For Okinawa, I've got a destroyer and 2 transports. In Mongolia, Manchuria, I should say, 2 fighters and 6 infantry and artillery and an AA. Sea of Japan, I've got a destroyer and a transport. In Iwo Jima, I've got 1 infantry. In Japan itself, I've got 3 AA. I've got 6 infantry and 2 transports. And I believe that's it. So for next turn, so I have my base of 26. I've got Chohar, Anhui, Yunnan, bonus 10, that goes 40, plus I've captured Suyan, Hopei, Quichao, and Yunnan. So that's additional 5, so I have 45 IPCs for next turn. Thank you very much.